You're watching New Car Spin. I'm your host, Brian Grant, where I put the spin on new cars. Today, I'm in the 2018 Volkswagen Golf GTI Autobahn. The Autobahn version is the top of the line, and it has every accessory you'd want, plus more. That means it has all the tech. It even has a way to self-park, and that's weird because this has a manual transmission, but you'll see right there, there's a button to aid with parking. And so if I press that, and I'm driving along, it will tell me when I can park. The GTI is a fun, hot little car, 220 horsepower. This one has brakes from the Golf R. Well, with the manual transmission, it's pretty much one of the last of the driver's vehicles. And as a result of that, there's one flaw. And I discovered that while driving on one of the canyon roads out here. And that flaw is basically this mode button. Not only is it too close to the engine stop-start button, I've accidentally hit that to turn the engine off before, but in general, when you hit that button, you have these different modes to go through. When you're driving along in a canyon road out here in Los Angeles, some of the roads are very fair, meaning that the road doesn't tighten up very much, and then some of the roads just tighten up immensely. Well, let's just say the pavement changes as well. In order to get through all the different cycles of this, you have to hit that button constantly to go through the different modes. But then what you get is a combination of the throttle mapping and the dynamic chassis control, which includes the suspension settings. You basically have a lot of different modes that you're going through, but they're all predetermined. And there are a few instances where I'm driving along and I want the comfort suspension. I want the comfort steering, believe it or not. But I do want the aggressive throttle mapping in sport mode. And so my problem here has been this one button and this touchscreen interface has been very difficult to use on a canyon road, mainly because out of everything I've done, one button to go through all the modes, it's not confusing, it's just not providing me enough. And so you look at some other cars out there and they have one bank of toggle switches. One is for the suspension, one is for the throttle mapping, one maybe even be a race mode. There are different types of modes, but you can toggle through each one. And my problem here is I don't have that. So I think if you're looking for a car that you can commute in and have a blast in on the city streets and then have a blast on the canyon roads with, the GTI is a great car. But if you're looking for a car that you can dial in and customize to the hilt, the Golf has a little bit of a ways to go. Now that's not a bad thing. I just think that people who say the Golf or cars with electric steering in general have numb steering, I think the problem is they haven't driven them hard enough. And so to drive a car like this hard enough, you need to be able to get comfortable with it. You need to be able to toss it around. And if you can't do that, then I don't think there's a point. The GTI is a Golf, which is for everybody, but the GTI isn't for everybody. And again, I'm not knocking this car. What I'm saying is I think on the Autobahn, they really should have gone a little bit more berserk rather than just add in some tech. I think they should have added a bank of buttons so that if you saw the interior of the Autobahn, you would have flipped out. And that's really it. It's a great car. I had a great time with it on my vacation here in Southern California. I really want to appreciate it. I want to let VW know thank you very much for letting me borrow this car for a week. And I had a blast through the canyon roads. There's really nothing wrong with the GTI. However, if I was to suggest an improvement, it would be that mode button. I would like to see that button changed into a bank of switches. The point is here, I know someone told me on Facebook that this interior is bland, and I think if they thought about adding a bank of toggle switches, and if they made this screen for the HVAC controls too, there would be something going on here that would make it a little bit more exciting. But right now at this point, I'm going to shut it down, and I'm going to say the GTI is something that you can always count on. It has a spare tire, it has a great Fender stereo, it's got a sunroof, it's got everything. And the price may sound like it's creeping up these days, but the way it drives, the way it grips the road, you get what you pay for. And I haven't had any issues with this vehicle in the week I've had it, driving 500 miles in the Santa Monica Mountains. And so if you're looking for a sporty car, a compact car, a fun car, a car you can throw the kids in back of and go to the beach in, this is definitely at the top of the list. Thanks for watching.